Voting for the Brihanmumbai Municipal Corporation, India's richest civic body, will be taking place today, and the polling has begun. Over 1,700 candidates are in the fray across 227 wards that are going to polls. Voting has begun and will be continuing till 5:30 this evening. Now, the battle is largely between the ruling Mahayuti alliance, comprising the BJP and the Shiv Sena, against the Thackeray brothers, who have reunited. Remember, after 2 decades, that's what we were just mentioning about, making this election a politically high-stakes contest. Now, the Pawar family also reunited for the BMC polls, along with the Congress, hoping to emerge as a decisive force in the financial capital of the country. While the campaign has seen sharp political attacks being exchanged and blown at each other, ideological clashes that have taken place, and a strong Marathi Manus pitch on the ground, with Mumbaikars are looking beyond slogans, is what it seems on the ground. For voters, the real issues remain everyday struggles: rising pollution, cratered roads, water shortages, and relentless traffic congestion. We see people already stepping out of their houses to cast their votes. We just, in fact, caught Shaina NC, who is already out. But before, of course, voting, more importantly, they do visit the temples out there, the Siddhivinayak temple, to, in fact, take blessings before on this very important day. And right now, we have Shaina NC joining us on the broadcast as well at this given point of time. Shaina, let's listen into what she has to say. So viewers, as Mumbai steps out to vote today, the message from the citizens is very clear. This election is not just about power, but more importantly about performance. Counting of the votes, remember, however, will be taking place tomorrow. But today, it's a high-stakes battle that plays out in Mumbai itself for the richest poll body at this given point of time. So yes, it is a very important day. We see leaders already out there seeking blessings on this very important day before they will be, in fact, headed out to cast their votes. Let's quickly listen into what Shaina NC had to say right out from outside Siddhivinayak temple.
सुबह सुबह वोट कर रहे हैं और उम्मीद करते हैं कि हमारे मुंबईकर भी बाहर आके जल्दी वोट करें, जेन जी वोट करें, फर्स्ट टाइम वोटर्स भारी संख्या में बाहर आए, क्योंकि सही में जब आप वोट कर सकते हैं तब आप क्रिटिसाइज कर सकते हैं सिस्टम को, आप सवाल प्रश्न चिन्ह उठा सकते हैं. जब आप वोट नहीं करेंगे तो आपका हक ही नहीं बनता है. तो मेरी विनती है हमारे मुंबईकर को, पार्टिसिपेट इन दिस फेस्टिवल ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी.
आपको लग रहा है असल मुद्दों पे आज पक्का वोट होगा और आज तय हो जाएगा कि मुंबई में कौन है जो, क्या ठाकरे बंधु जो हैं वो रूल कर रहे हैं अभी भी इतने सालों बाद, 25-30 साल के बाद?
100% महायुति की विजय होगी. और आप देखेंगे कि भ्रष्टाचार जहीं कहाँ भी हुआ वहाँ एक वॉचटॉप के रूप में.
ठीक नहीं है, कचरा है, ये है, वो है. इट्स नाउ आवर टर्न. हम सबको आना चाहिए और हो सके सारे के सारे आने चाहिए ताकि हम वोटिंग करके सही मतदान, सही बंदा चुन सकें. सो दैट इज़ इट. अगर और साथ में यही कहूँगा कि अगर मुंबईकर का असली हीरो बनना है तो डायलॉग बाजी नहीं, तो पीछे आके सीधे वोटिंग करें. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
अक्षय कुमार, यहाँ पर आप देख रहे थे किस तरीके से अपने मताधिकार का इस्तेमाल कर दिया है, और इसके अलावा लोगों से अपील भी यहाँ पर की है कि
That was actor Akshay Kumar. Yes, that was actor Akshay Kumar, in fact, calling out people to come out and cast their votes to exercise their democratic right. And of course, it is a very high-stakes battle that we're looking at in Mumbai. More importantly, throughout the day, we will be seeing such stalwarts, in fact, casting their vote. And we will be bringing you all the latest updates right here on India Today as we keep our close watch on how this high-stakes battle unfolds in Mumbai. Right now, Vidya joining me on the broadcast with more details from the very ground. Vidya, very good morning to you. It is a big day for Mumbai, and people seem to be already up and about, rather, casting their votes already early in the morning and getting they're exercising their democratic right. But yes, it is a very important battle. It's a very crucial battle that we see. Thackeray brothers uniting after 20 years. Then there is the Mahayuti with the Shiv Sena and the BJP all coming, and Ajit Pawar's NCP all coming together, fighting against each other. What is the pulse of the ground like right at the beginning of the morning?
Well, right now I'm joined by some of the people here who have just finished their voting. Sir, how was the arrangement here?
No, it's good. Arrangement is good and perfectly all right.
And what were the topics on your top of your mind when you were voting? What do you want for the
Yeah, we are not supposed to tell you.
No. What do you want for the city of Mumbai?
No, that is the city should grow and city should make a progress.
Thank you so much. That's true, sir. What about you, sir? How was the arrangement here? You started voting at 7:30.
हिंदी में बोला
आपने जब वोट किया तो आप क्या सोच रहे थे, क्या चाहिए शहर के लिए, क्योंकि बहुत सालों बाद वोटिंग हो रही है आफ्टर ऑल?
बहुत साल के बाद हो रहा है, लेकिन वोटिंग बहुत अरेंजमेंट भी बहुत अच्छा किया है, लेकिन बहुत साल के बाद नहीं हो रहा है, लेकिन ये 5 साल के बाद हो रहा है.
नहीं, सिविक पोल्स 2017 में जो हुए थे लास्ट, बहुत साल हो गए, तो इसके बाद अब जब वोटिंग करने गए तो शहर के लिए क्या सोचा आपने जब वोट किया?
शहर के लिए तो सोचा हुआ मैंने, वोटिंग तो की है,
वोटिंग तो वोट तो हो गया, हमको जिसके डालने का था हम लोग ने डाल दिए.
So as you heard, well, people have put their votes. In fact, there was a long queue waiting. People, even senior citizens, were waiting here for the polling to really start at 7:30, which will certainly go on till 5:30 in the evening. But then we will be seeing a lot of people, especially, as they have been saying in Mumbai, that people from the slums generally do come out, but not from the building. But right now, right here at Malabar Hill, we do see a lot of people coming out to vote. And it's really expected that, as many of the candidates have been praying for, asking for the voters to come out in large number, that there will be a large turnout in Mumbai after all these years, finally.
Right, Vidya. Vidya, do stay with us. We also have Mustafa joining us on the broadcast. Mustafa, coming to you next. Where are you at this given point of time? What seems to be the current situation there? As Vidya was also speaking to some of the voters, what seems to be playing on their minds? Is it the narrative war that they seem to be convinced with, or more on real issues that has been, bothering the people of Mumbai? Are they voting on that very basis?
काली पीछे दिखा देना. Well, I am in Bandra East. Sahitya Sahavas is the polling station where I am right now. As Vidya was showing, the polling has started here also, and people have come out, especially senior citizens have lined up and started voting since 7:30 a.m. Yes, there were a lot of issues and there were a lot of narratives going up to this election, but on ground it seems somewhere that this pulse of the son of soil Marathi Manus has played a major role. Whether it comes out to be true when the results come out is something we'll have to see, but that seems to be a major flavor, a major narrative. It's what is going around in the local body elections. Also, there has not been much voting in the past times in the local elections like 2017. Whether the voting percentage increases considerably, like it increased in Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha, is something we'll have to wait and see. Back to you.
Absolutely, Mustafa. How this entire battle lines do in fact play out, that's something we have to wait and watch. Vidya, let me come to you next at this point of time. Let's understand one thing. We've seen Thackerays unite after a long time, after two decades to be more precise. How have you seen this particular narrative play out for the people? Because the Thackeray's have to say that they are fighting for the Marathi Manus out there. They are fighting to preserve the Marathi identity out there, which seems to be under threat, or that is at least what that's quoting them at this given point of time. But have you seen people on the ground being convinced with that very sentiment? Of course, it's an emotional time that the two Thackeray brothers have united, but has it really played on the minds of the voters before they have in fact gone to cast their votes? Is that a factor, you would say?
Certainly, that will be a deciding factor in this particular civic elections. Remember, the last time around, for the 25 years that the Thackerays were controlling the BMC, along with BJP in part. But at that time, the entire Shiv Sena was one party. There was no split. But after the split, this is the first time the local body elections are being held in Mumbai, and that's one of the reasons, at least now when the Thackeray brothers have come together, will that really add power to the entire voting, that really go in their favor, is something that is really worthwhile to look at. And remember, while the Thackeray's are claiming that they are the ones who have the mandate of the Marathi Manus, it's also Devendra Fadnavis. Devendra Fadnavis also claims that he is the one who has done much to ensure that there is development for the Marathi Manus. There are many projects that have been undertaken. There are many projects, residential projects, to ensure that Marathi people do not leave Mumbai and have to settle down outside Mumbai. So, there are various factors that everyone's really, counting on. Everyone's mentioned their bid that they have done for the Marathi Manus, but who will the Marathi Manus really vote for is something that we'll really get to know tomorrow. But certainly, I've been speaking to a lot of people who have voted here, and they all say that development of the city is something on the top of their mind, because every year the Mumbaikars, who especially have stayed here for say like 40-50 years, have only seen the entire city deteriorate, is as they have been saying. So certainly someone who really uplifts the city, makes life better for them, is something that every Mumbaikar is really looking out for.
Right, Vidya, Mustafa, do stay with me. Right now, viewers, let me quickly take you through some data points, some analysis that we at India Today have done so far to understand what exactly seems to be the X factors that will be working out for the BMC election that we will be keeping a close watch on. Nearly 1/3 of Mumbai's wards will be seeing a direct Civ Sena UBT versus a Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde faction fight, which of course is quite different from what it was 9 years ago when this election had last taken place. So this is the Sena fragmentation, which is something that we will be quickly taking a look at. Congress again faces its toughest challenge from the UBT and not the BJP. Congress has its highest overlap with the Shiv Sena UBT across the city, because remember, that is a particular split we've also seen right ahead of these very elections, and going forward this might actually be a defining factor for the political landscape and that very alliance that was there. Now, BJP's contest strategy is selective at this given point of time. Why are we saying that? Because the BJP is fighting fewer than 2/3 of the wards and has limited direct fights with the ally Shiv Sena. They have not picked on direct, even friendly fights, they've not picked on many. They are focused on selective seats, and that's how they are in fact proceeding into the election. So these are some of the X factors that we're talking about for each party, what seems to have worked out. Absence of an overlap, which also means the effort to avoid mutual erosion in the core wards. That's what we are looking at when we speak of UBT, MNS, tactical separation. That is how we look these two brothers in fact playing out in this very election. How will this tactical separation in fact indeed play out? Because there are seats where they are also clashing, but very few seats again to avoid erosion in the core ward, so that people are not confused that they are together. Now, the Shiv Sena, this is the Eknath Shinde faction, acts as the very interface party at this given point of time in the Mahayuti, primary interface party. That is the particular party that we're looking at, because Shinde emerges as the principal challenger in many wards where the BJP is absent. So the Mahayuti has very well divided its role amongst the parties. Which party takes care of what exactly in each of these wards? Again, ward level micromanagement will be deciding the outcomes. That is also one thing we are looking at. Given the overlap, the density, citywide waves effects are unlikely. So that is what we are looking at in terms of how each of these alliances have played out. How it plays out, how this election plays out for the Congress shall also be quite an important factor to in fact witness, because they have just in fact split away from the Shiv Sena UBT, and the Shiv Sena UBT has joined hands with the MNS, that is Raj Thackeray's party. So, and the Congress had consistently said, leaders from the Shiv Sena UBT had warned the Congress that fighting this particular poll alone will not turn up in their favor. So how it plays out, that's something we have to of course wait and watch. But right now, let's go back to Vidya and Mustafa to understand the political landscape at a better depths right now, to also put it into context. into the pulse of the ground. What do the people have to say? What are they more convinced with at this given point of time? Vidya, coming back to you, when we are discussing about the Thackerays, there's also one very crucial point. With the last time we'd seen these elections play out, 9 years has passed since then, and there is a lot that's happened in the political landscape in Maharashtra. There have been splits within parties, there have been new alliances that have formed. At this point of time, if we look at not just the issues, but which particular alliance which has been formed at this point of time seems to have convinced people more, seems to have, related to the people more, be it sentimentally speaking or politically speaking.
Well, if you look at it, a lot of people that we have been speaking to are also quite cynical about this entire politicking game that has happened especially since 2019. If you look at it, during the entire time when the parties split, the Congress, the NCP
Vidya,
split, and the Shiv Sena
up to you
split
there,
had
and
happened.
we will come back to the BMC polls. Of course, we are constantly keeping a very close